Hello. Later, I'm downstairs at the speakeasy getting everything ready for the party. Emilio walks in, he catches my eye and scowls. Don't you think you're being a little rude? Haven't you heard of knocking? I suppose he's talking about earlier. I'm sorry I didn't knock, but I never imagined you'd all be standing around half naked. He shrugs. It affected Alexi way worse than it affected me. Have you ever seen a grown man cry before? I said I was sorry. What else I gotta do? Bow down and beg for forgiveness? That'd be a start. Anyhow, do you think you could fix my bow tie for me? It's crooked. I look down and finally notice his tie. Gosh, it is crooked, still. I don't know the first thing about ties. Neither do I. Come on, I can't do it myself. Can't really say no to him after what just happened. I nod and fiddle with his tie for a while. Better. He steps back in a hurry. What's with him? You think so? A compliment from him so hard to come by. I wonder if I ought to try recording it on a phonograph. Yeah, I'm no good with this stuff, thanks. Well, run along, don't you have work to do? Sure, but I don't need you reminding me. Emilio lazily waves me away and I run off. He didn't say anything about my new hairdo or duds. I suppose he just didn't notice. Working hard, Valkii? Yep, almost have everything together. Good, good. By the way, do you know about the New Year tradition? Tradition? They say that the first person you encounter in the New Year sets the tone for the rest of the year, so you should find the person you want to be with the most right at midnight. Maybe Emilio, eh? Well, maybe then that means I'll learn more about magic from them this year. That's not quite what I meant, but I suppose it'll do. Don't forget, alright? If you say so, Marie. The party gets into full swing not long after that. The place is so lively tonight. Would you like your usual whiskey, Mr. Yamada? I'll have a rum tonight. Rosemary will have a sherry and gin. Don't order for me, Hajime. How do you know what I want? You always order the same thing. I might want something different this time. Alright, then what are you having? Sherry and gin. You see? It just so happens that I want to drink sherry and gin tonight. I might order something different next time, so don't you speak over me, Hajime. Arf, arf! Even Aro thinks you're being unreasonable. Nonsense. Aro is a gentleman. I'm sure he hates being talked over too. Arf! See? Here's your rum, Mr. Yamada, and your sherry and gin, Mrs. Grierson. Thank you so much, dear. You agree with me, don't you? I might order another drink next time. Of course, Mrs. Grierson. When it's almost midnight, the bar closes and everyone gets ready for the countdown. Remembering what Marie said before, I tried to find Emilio. That's strange. I can't find him. Giovanni, have you seen Emilio around? But Giovanni shakes his head. Can't say I have, but I wasn't really paying attention to who was around while we were on stage. Maybe he stepped out for some air. Maybe. Thanks anyway. No matter where I look, though, he ain't around. I wonder where he went. A couple days later, we're all relaxing at the speakeasy after another busy evening. Food and drinks are on me tonight. I called in some special catering. Where were you? Why does it keep being like, well, he just disappeared, and then we never talked about it ever again? It was really weird, but, you know, just silence is golden. What's the occasion? No occasion, I just wanted to celebrate business getting better. Don't you think this sort of thing is why you were all operating in the red in the first place? Aw, you gotta let me have my fun, sweetheart. Don't go sounding so much like Alex. I hear this talk plenty from him, as it is. Would that you actually followed my advice. Alright, enough of that. This is supposed to be a fun little dinner party. Oh, Valkii, there's only a few weeks left until your exam, right? How have things been going? I said fun. It's alright, Marie. I think magic's pretty fun. She beams when I say that. I'm really sorry for what happened on Christmas Eve, but I've studied a lot more since then and I think I've gotten better. The group stares at me, waiting for me to go on, but strangely I don't feel a lot of pressure. I glance over at Emilio for support too. He smiles, encouraging me to keep talking. When you all first told me I was a magician, I didn't know what to think. But lately I think magic's really fun. I really like light magic. So I really want to pass my exam and keep going with all of you. The field of light magic is pretty underdeveloped compared to the rest. You have a great chance here to contribute a lot of new things to the field and rediscover old ways. Yeah, I'm so excited for you, Valkii. Thank you. Everyone wishes me luck and then we eat a delicious dinner, which Marie refuses to tell us how much she paid for. Okay, the next day. How's this? I conjure a glowing light and focus on it. It gets bigger and bigger until it's about the size of a globe. No reaction. It looks great, doll. You're going to be making lights the size of taxis before we know it. Thanks, Gio. Truth is, Emilio hasn't been doing a whole lot of teaching since the New Year party. I'm still just as excited to learn, but he's not so excited to teach. He smiled at me last night, but here in the lab, well, I've gotten closer to Gio and Alex because they've picked up the slack, but something ain't right. Emilio? Huh? What? Are you even listening? Don't be such a bearcat, bearcat. Of course I'm listening. Then can you give me some pointers on this spell? Fine. I didn't do or say anything weird to him to make him act like this, right? Valkii, can I have my usual? Of course, Mr. Yamada. And a sherry and gin for you, Mrs. Grierson? Yes, I'll have a tuxedo, dear. Out of the corner of my eye, I can see Emilio. He's looking around all suspicious like. Why? He then ducks into the storeroom when he thinks nobody's looking. Here you go. Thank you. Nobody mixes a tuxedo quite like you, Valkii. What is your secret? I put a dash of fairy dust in there. I should have known. You don't put fairy dust into my whiskey, do you? Why? Do you want me to? Might be worth trying. I'll sprinkle a little in for you next time, Mr. Yamada. Emilio's been hanging around the storeroom a lot lately. Is he just skipping out on work in there? What's the matter with him? Go look. Baffling. Just go look. It's just 2 days later when I notice something's really not right. They're missing. The vague feeling of worry I've had for a while now turns into something much more solid. I should have said something sooner, and I shouldn't have let all this slide. I run to find Alexei and Giovanni in the lab. What's missing? The barrels? Gio, Alex. What's the matter, Valkii? The extra barrels. What extra barrels? They're gone. I was not aware that we had anything extra in the storeroom. We have not had a new shipment in some time. What are you referring to? There were some extra barrels in there recently, but I just had a look and they're all gone. Alex, let's have a look. Yes. I led both of them to the storeroom. Everything looks fine to me. You're saying there's barrels missing? Yep, 3 of them. Think you can figure it out, Alex? Only if there was liquid inside of them. Alexei raises his arms up and the corner of the room where the barrels are starts to glow. After a couple of seconds, Alexei drops his arms and clicks his tongue. He doesn't look happy. The barrels were full of gasoline. Oh, is he gonna go set the place on fire? Where's Emmy? You think the boy had something to do with this? He ain't around, is he? What else am I supposed to think? He's been acting real strange lately too. He's been hanging around the storeroom a lot. We've got to find him quick. Vivi. Huh? What's the matter? You all look like you've seen a ghost. Vivi, can you watch the place for a while? Well, sure, but... Thanks, we'll be back. We all grab our coats off the table as we rush out. We run up the stairs and out the front door. There's one of the barrels right out here. How did he sneak out barrels? Then, as Giovanni feared, let's split up. We'll find him faster that way. I nod and run off in a different direction from Gio and Alexei. The haircut's growing on me, actually, I think it's growing on me. If they knew what I was really capable of, they'd never treat me that way. I wish I weren't so soft-hearted. Non-majors are worth less than the gunk on my shoes. Wish they'd all just burn. His words from a few weeks ago stick in my heart. Even someone like me knows what gasoline can do. Emilio, don't do anything stupid. After running around for a while and looking everywhere, I finally find him in an alley pushing 2 of the barrels. Emilio! He freezes, but it looks like he's about to make a run for it. Emilio, stop! His shoulders slump, then he slowly turns around. What are you doing here? I want to ask you the same thing. I'm just selling this booze. Booze, huh? Alexei said it was gasoline. Stop sneaking around and just tell me. What's the point in lying now? Before Emilio can answer, I hear running footsteps coming towards us. Emilio. So you were here. Gio, Alex. Alexei glances at the barrels of gasoline before looking at Emilio, then me. Explain. Emmy, you're already in trouble. Don't make things worse. Please, just let me go. We cannot do that, Emilio. Tell us what's going on. He sighs deeply. I'm getting revenge. Revenge? Don't tell me it's those damn Blarneys. I mean, a derogatory term, for an Irish person. It's the name of a town, so we're a little unsure as to how/why it became a slur. Blarneys, Irish people. I think back to when Emilio told me about his neighbours, the people who bullied you. If it was just me, I could grin and bear it. I've been taking their abuse my whole life. But it's gotten worse. It wasn't enough for them to just mess with me and my family, but they've been messing with my parents' restaurant. Harassing customers, trashing the place. Why could you not call the police? The cops. What makes you think they care about what happens to the dregs of society? No, they want us fighting each other. I know that. What are you doing with all this gasoline? Are you dumb? Just gonna light it on fire. I ask what's on everyone's mind. I'm burning down their restaurant. Emmy, it's only fair, isn't it? After everything they've done, everything we've had to put up with. If things go on like this, my parents are going to lose their business. I'm sick and tired of palookas messing everything up. They think they're so great just because their skin's whiter than ours. Alexi's just looking very uncomfortable because he's the whitest person here. I've thought about the same before too. Why couldn't my parents find better jobs? Why were folks so rude to us? I understand what he's been through, why he's so angry. Well, I've got something they don't got. My fire. I'm gonna make it so they can't ever show their faces around here again. I never should have taken this for so long. We've got magic. Why not use it? What's the point in living in hiding, holding ourselves up like criminals? It's not easy to answer. The three of us understand his feelings better than anyone. So you've been planning this for a while. That's right. I figured out their schedule, see? They're all going to be at church still for the night service, and I'm taking this chance while nobody's around. This is why you've been so moody and distant. I should have asked someone about the extra barrels sooner. I could have stopped this earlier, but there was no way I could have known. I can't blame myself. We're here now. Look, I've made up my mind. If you're going to get in my way, even if it's you guys, I'll... But you're wrong. You don't really hate non-majors. Huh? Haven't you listened to anything I've said since we met? How the hell can you think that? If you really hated them so much, you would have done something bigger, sooner. But you chose a Sunday. You didn't want anyone getting hurt. I just didn't want to get arrested. You can get arrested just for this, can't you? It's hard, hating people. Blind hatred, the will to kill. It's not that easy. You can't do it, can you? You can't kill. Sure I could. I just don't feel like it right now is all. If you truly wish to dominate these palookas, as you call them, there have been many chances up until now. Why did you not do something sooner? It just wasn't the right time. That sounds like an excuse. What do you know? What do you know? What do any of you know? Well, you're the only one who's not privileged, eh? Gio walks over and puts his hand on Emilio's shoulder. The thing is, we don't know. You haven't told us, so how can we? Gio. Let's go back. Don't do this. If they're harassing your parents, then we'll help you stop them, but this ain't the way. Emilio stares at the ground for a long time. And then finally, he nods slowly. We walk back to the Blind Griffin together with Gio pushing the barrels along. Oh, he's a fucking strong boy. I think all this time Emilio just wanted to be accepted. He didn't like feeling different, but his neighbor's kids stepped all over those feelings. He didn't know what else to do. His pride didn't let him admit to what he really wanted either, but maybe now he'll think about it and change. Almost a whole month goes by. We don't talk about what happened, and Emilio goes back to mentoring me. Nobody comes out and says it, but we're all trying to give him some space to think. It takes a lot to push someone to the point where they'd want to burn a place to the ground, and it takes a long time for someone who'd do that to get over it. Before I know it, February 5th comes along, the day of my magic exam. You sure you're ready, Bearcat? Ready as I'll ever be. If you got something to say, just say it. Takes a deep breath. I've been thinking. Pretty dangerous. Oh, dry up, just listen. In my whole family, I'm the only magician. They love me and support me and all, but I always felt alone. They could never really understand what magic was about, and, well, I couldn't understand them either. I tried to imagine telling my family about my magic. I can't figure out whether they'd be proud or just scared, so I understand the feeling. I found the Blind Griffin, but Gio and Alex are already at the top of the totem pole, and I already told you what it was like with the other kids around my age. I just wanted to be number one somewhere. I wanted someone to notice all my hard work and say, "Wowzer, you're the best." When nobody did, I stubbornly made myself number one. I decided every palooka out there was below me. But you just wanted them to accept you. You wanted those Irish neighbours of yours to quit picking on you and be friends with you instead. Yeah, somewhere deep down I guess I did. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, well, I wish I didn't care so much. He laughs at himself. I don't think I can forgive them for what they've done. Not just because they messed with me, but for harassing my family and all. But I'm glad you three stopped me. I could have done some real damage. You stopped yourself. We just said some words. Huh. Still, thanks. I can't forgive my neighbours for what they did, but I don't want to hate them. I don't want to hate all the non-magicians. I need to hold his hand. I don't know what I can say, so I'll hold his hand. Before I get a chance to really think about it, I reach out and hold his hand. Exclamation point. He looks surprised for a second, but then calms down. We lace our fingers together. I hope he can understand how I feel from that. I want to try to be a more understanding person, and know I've been a pretty crummy mentor to you. Could have been worse. But I'll do better next time, if there's a next time. Though there's only one person I really want approval from. Who? never you mind. Is it me? Well, I'm sure you can do it. Thanks, Valkii. First things first, though, you gotta pass your exam. Got any last-minute questions before we send you off? We both practiced magic for a while before I leave for my exam. I guess I can't know for sure until I take it for real, but I'm feeling pretty confident. Me and Emilio will both be just fine. I end up passing my exam with flying colours. I become an official member of the Coven, and time just flies by. It's April, damn. Are you completely sure that you three will be alright here alone? For the 100th time, yes. We're not little kids, you know. I'm sure they'll be fine, Alex. I agree. Let's enjoy our trip and not worry about them. Marie, Giovanni, and Alexi are all going on some kind of trip, leaving us younger ones to watch the place. Valkii, you keep those two troublemakers in line, got it? You got it, Gio. Hey, this bearcat's the biggest troublemaker here. That's rich coming from you. Dry up, Viv. Hee well goodbye you three, we'll see you again in a few weeks. Where are you going? Bye bye, have a nice trip. Be well. The three of them set off. Business goes on pretty much as usual, though we have to hire another musician to accompany Vivi. I'll go restock the liquor behind the bar, so you polish the glasses. Got it. Vivi just whistles as she watches us. What? Nothing, I was just thinking of what a good team you two are. Huh? What are you talking about? You two are a good team, unless you wanted to be something else, something more. Breeze off, Viv. I guess that means fuck off. To leave or go. Breeze off is a way of telling someone to get the fuck out. A rather gentle way. Aw, your feelings are way too obvious. Viv! Emilio's all embarrassed as usual. He's pretty cute sometimes. Actually, I've been waiting for him to ask me on a date for a while, but I'm not the patient type, so maybe I'll have to do the asking. What are you grinning about, Bearcat? Well, I wonder which of us is gonna crack first. He better crack first, the fucker. Why is the date different? Okay. Oh, okay. It's been a couple of years since then. Everything okay here? She still has freaking short hair. Just grow your hair out again, love. You'll look good. Business was kind of slow today. We've got so much candy, it's a waste. Maybe we ought to advertise more. Couldn't hurt. Maybe we could put something in the papers. Alexi taught me how to read a long while back. Now I can read the papers with the best of them. A few years ago, Marie and Giovanni left for Europe. I don't really know the specifics, but Gio needed some kind of special medical treatment. Oh damn. Since he and Marie are old friends, Marie went with him. She left the speakeasy to me and Emilio. It was us and Vivi at first, but she finally got her big break. Vivi's back in New York now, probably crooning at nightclubs and singing her heart out. She sends us lots of letters and presents, plus she comes back to visit a lot. Alexi spends most of his time in the lab nowadays. He doesn't always say, but I think he misses having Gio around. When nighttime rolls around, things are still pretty hoppin'. Here's your whiskey, Mr. Yamada. Oh, they're still alive. Nice. I bring over a glass to the table where he and Mrs. Grierson are sitting. Thanks, Valkii. It's sad to think that this place might not exist anymore if they get rid of Prohibition, huh? Even if that happens, we'll still be here. Don't you worry, Mr. Yamada. But then maybe we will be selling booze legally instead. What is it, Mrs. Grierson? Seems like there's something on your mind. Don't tell me you've got Prohibition blues too. Just when are you and Emilio getting married? Huh? I'd like to be a grandmother soon, you know. When did you become my mother, Mrs. Grierson? You know, I took a shine to the two of you a while back when she launches into another one of her long-winded speeches. Just when I'm about to try and politely escape, someone hugs me from behind. Aw, that's cute. Aw, Mrs. Grierson, we can't settle down just yet. I should like to see you two happily married before something happens to me. You're in great health, Mrs. Grierson. I know you're not going anywhere. And how do you feel about this, Valkii? Me? Surely you want to settle down. Oh, look, she has a ring. Wait. Yeah, it's the right. It's the right hand. Well, I'm so happy already. I don't even have time to worry about it. Haha, is that so? Yep, as you can see, we're doing just fine. Well, if you two are happy, I shan't interfere. Hey, when are you two gonna stop messing around? There's lots of other things to do, you know. Oops. Emilio lets go of me, looking guilty. See you later, Mrs. Grierson. Of course, dear. Can I have another shot of whiskey, Valkii? Of course, Mr. Yamada. I leave the table to go back to the bar. Telling the future's not one of my powers, but I feel like these happy days are going to go on forever so long as me and Emilio are together. Rings of Promise ending. Again, I didn't do it for the last thing I played, but... which was one more? But I will probably... I don't know if I'll get the bad endings. I don't know. If there's CGs associated with them, I might. But I doubt it somehow. Oh, look, there's an ending list. I may have to. Damn. Okay. Alright, well, I'm gonna leave it on this one. It's a bit early, but I'm just gonna do it as in, like, I'm doing videos for each route, so I'm not just gonna start a new route now. So I will see you in the next one. Bye!